Hey, true believers. Chris Mack coming at you today with Gambit and the X-Ternals number 3. This is part 28 of the Age of Apocalypse that we've been going through, and I don't know about y'all, but I've definitely been enjoying myself going back and rereading this after years of just, kind of having that nostalgia factor. Just seeing this now in older point of view, this is such a great read, guys. And yeah, definitely something you want to have in your collection if you're a huge X-Men fan. You want to have the entire Age of Apocalypse series because this was like the pinnacle of great writing across the whole board and how a event should properly be done. So the print date on issue 3 was May 1995, and at this point in the game, the X-Ternals have been slingshotted across the universe by Leela Cheney to the Shi'ar Imperium, as it's called in this 295 universe. I believe it's called 295. And so they are rescued by the Starjammers, which are different versions, obviously, with it being led by Deathbird, because in this universe... so yeah, let's refresh right here. Daken, Lilandra, and Deathbird's brother, is still in charge, just like he was when we were first introduced to the Shi'ar way back in the original X-Men from Claremont. But in this one, Daken murders Lilandra, and Deathbird becomes the leader of the Starjammers, which I wish they would reference like kind of what happened with Corsair in this universe, because I have not seen anything about that yet. So I'm kind of hoping somewhere in here we can get a reference. But yeah, such a gorgeously drawn book. I mean, you see this and it's kind of like, okay, everyone's looking at what's going on and what they're up against, but then you turn the page and boom, look at this. This was way before, there was some digital art going on, but there was no real 3D models that you could trace over. This was a lot of freehand with some digital enhancements, and just look at how that takes your breath away and how this still stands up in modern times. So anyway, before we get any further and we can sit here and just talk about the gorgeousness of this, this is called To the Limits of Infinity. This is brought to you by Fabian Nikizia, Salvador LaRocca doing the penciling, Al Mingram doing the inks, Chris Ianopoulos doing the lettering, Yavin Larosa, Webb and Tomas doing the color art, Electric Crayon doing the separators, and Bob Harris as the Beaver. And as I always say, I miss when editors would just kind of get in on the jokes with the readers, but mostly miss when they would give you this type of artwork. I mean, just look at the perspective here. How we get this, what is that? The vanishing point. Everything kind of starts going down towards the surface. Why this thing is coming at us, and then just the coloring, the inks. Oh my God! Like I said, we could just sit here and gush, but we have a book to go over. So there's your last look of it. Pause it, print it out, put it on your wall, and enjoy it. Now, what I like here is they're talking about the masses of the Shi'ar that they're going to be going up here in a moment. And Jubilee actually kind of steps in. She goes, not to be rude or anything, Ms. High and Mighty, meaning Deathbird, but what fleet? Because she hasn't seen anything outside, as we just saw. We're not going to turn the page because I'm going to talk about that splash page some more. Now, Chode here, he reminds me of our 616 Beast. Because he goes, why, little Jubilee? That one. And she's just kind of like, oh. And again, more beautiful artwork. Look at how dynamic this is. There's no flat panels. Look at how this thing's flying into the screen like the Star Destroyer in a New Hope. And then we got their shuttle coming this way. We got all these like homage Kirby crackles going on. We get these planets and lasers, pew, 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 pew. And then Deathbird's sitting here talking about how we need to teleport to the surface and we need to do this, and this. The stakes are set. Beautiful artwork. Now we know what's at stake. We know what the motive is. And they're not sitting around talking about coffee going, LOL, so random, like some modern books do. But anyway, God, I love these space pages. They're just so good. And I think Nikizia here must have been watching a lot of Star Trek The Next Generation at this point in history, because there's like a lot of homages to Star Trek, which I have no qualms with because I'm a Trek head along with a Star Wars fan as well. So haha. But you can kind of start seeing, like, prepare to teleport, and then, all these star fighting, so you can see, like, the Star Trek and Star Wars influences, which is okay with me. So the team has to split up. They need pawns, kind of just loose term in here, to take on the hordes of the Shi'ar masses, while Leela and Gambit and Deathbird go to get the M'Kraan crystal. And what I like here is, now, what I want you all to do here, if you can, do me a favor, and after we've done this, let me know down in the comments what you think. But I want you to pick up the New Dawn of X, New Mutants #1 and New Mutants #2. Put them off to the side. And I want you to read this panel that we're going over right here. This is Sunspot. Now, Jubilee says, Bobby, we can blast away till we're blue in the face, but how much of a dent can 3 of us make against an entire army? We don't have to beat them, Jubilation. Just hold them off long enough so Remy and Leela can steal this mysterious crystal Magneto ordered us to retrieve. And she goes, that sounds like we're sort of sacrificing ourselves. If that's what it takes, then that's what we'll do. This is the Sunspot I remember. From the New Mutants to the X-Force age, this is Robert DaCosta. He can be arrogant and a bit of a little turd, but he has heart. He's had a lot of, hardships through his life. And if you go back and read, we did Marvel graphics novel, New Mutants #1. So if you want to check that out, make sure to pause this, go check out the original 616 when they joined the New Mutants, and then come back to this as well. Now, with all that said, pause this review and read the New Dawn of X, New Mutants #1 and #2. And you can see how in the New Dawn of X, Bobby is not like this, where he's chivalrous. He has heart, but yes, he is a bit of a jerk. In that, he's just like this, my crap don't stink, I don't care about nothing. And that's what kind of turned me off on the New Dawn of X books, because no one is like they should be. New Mutants started in the 80s. And, later on, if I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments, but, Nikezia and Louise Simonson and all them started writing the latter New Mutants and the X-Force books. And they at least got it right, because they went back to what was established. I don't feel like a lot of the new Dawn of X writers are doing that. So anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox. That's just, I wanted you guys to see, this is the Robert DaCosta that I know. This new one, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, as far as I'm concerned. So while they're doing their thing, and we get this kind of that very heartful moment that I'm really just like, yeah. They see the M'Kraan crystal, and I like how Warbird or Deathbird here just kind of really, mind freak. Because you can take a piece of the M'Kraan or the whole thing. The power of the M'Kraan rests as much in a sliver of it as it does in eternity. After all, how could one ever define the space needed to contain infinity? So, of course, Leela and Gambit don't really comprehend, but you're just kind of like, whoa, man. And then this is where we start to get more stakes happening. Something happens with Leela at this moment, which makes Gambit just mindlessly jump into the M'Kraan crystal. And this is where we're introduced to Jaff. And he's like, I've been impatient waiting for you. He was like, hello, my name's Jaff. I'll be your host while the universe is destroyed. And it's just like, what a little turd, you know what I mean? So, Jaff, he has been established way back in the day. I think it was X-Men 108 back in 1977, created by Claremont. And I like how Nikezia uses him here. He's kind of like the one that's supposed to guard all of reality. And so there's some things that you start to see. I'm going to skip over because I don't want to spoil it. But Gambit finally starts to talk to him, and he's like, well, what's going on? And he goes, the only people that were different that have ever come to the crystal were the X-Men. The X-Men have been here? You know them? I knocked the hairy clawed guy, Wolverine, into orbit. Well, not the Wolverine you know anyway. It does get confusing, even to me. So I like how Nikezia here even just references his first appearance, because that happened back in 108, I believe, where he punched Wolverine. As where in this universe, Gambit knows him as Weapon X because he was never known as Wolverine. So I like that we get the 616 reference here of his origin. So this character is not really much changed because he's the guy that guards all of reality. And so Jaff explains to him that in order to take a shard of the Imkron, you have to sacrifice a part of yourself, which kind of reminds me of the Soul Stone, but at least it's not a life for a life. You know what I mean? It's just you have to sacrifice something that means the world to you. And I like this moment where you kind of see Gambit open up. He goes, me? Saved a nexus of all realities? I'm thinking you got me confused with someone else. I'm nothing but a thief. Not a... And they're just saying, just do it. You can do it, Gambit. And he's like, he's like, this Cajun boy never gave nothing to nobody my whole life. And again, the stakes continue to rise. So that's what I like, is there's beats, beats, beats. So like Gambit's really starting to think, you start to see what's happening with Guido and Jubilee and Sunspot. Now, Gambit finally does realize what means the world to him, which allows them to get a piece of the shard of the Imkron crystal. At this point, once I figured out what it was, because it wasn't real clear in the text, if you guys feel a little confused after you read it, ask me. I had to go look it up myself. But something happens here with that. Something happens with the character. And it just makes for really good reading. And the art team just really helps enhance the beats and makes you feel the intensity, makes you feel the emotion as storytelling should be done. And that's everything you get here in Gambit and the X-Ternals #3. An absolutely amazing comic book. Now, if you guys have enjoyed this, please first and foremost support your local comic shop if there is one in your area, and pick up the entire Age of Apocalypse series, whether it's the singles or the collected omnibuses, because those things have came out, and I know a lot of people have just been grabbing those because these are getting harder to find. And if you've enjoyed this review, we really would appreciate if you take a moment to hit like, share, and subscribe. It really helps the club channel more than you could possibly know. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that fancy little playing card bell next to subscribe, that way as we continue to upload content, you guys will get notified and you can come to the channel. And we love to talk with y'all and hear your thoughts down in the comments below, or our social media pages, which I'll make sure to leave the links down in the description below. So with all that said, thank you so much for stopping by. Hope you all continue to have an absolutely amazing day reading, and happy hunting, true believers.